Hello, my name is Raymond Karchevsky, and I'm coming to you from my home here in Cave Junction, Oregon. The subject for tonight is Take Back Oregon, Take Back Our Country, the Sovereign Way. Let me first say to the Oregon citizens groups who are spinning their wheels and attempting to hold their government responsible for the multi-billion-dollar drivers scam that they are perpetrating upon the public. Lots of luck. Here is a simple, immutable fact. The state of Oregon and county of Josephine court system and its sheriff's department do not follow the law. You folks in the appropriate enforcement of motor vehicle laws group may have the law on your side, but that doesn't matter to them, the government, that you are trying to hold accountable one iota. They will just stonewall you to death. They will not answer your questions, as they have not answered mine over the last 8 years, even though their own law compels them to do so. The cover-up is complete. There is no one, or nowhere that one can go to seek remedy and relief within our present legal system here in Oregon and elsewhere. How do I know that? I have contacted damn near every agency purporting to exist for redress, with proof of claims accompanied by my signed affidavits, which have resulted in actual UCC defaults, followed by filing UCC liens against the state of Oregon and Josephine County government, and they have ignored it. See www.arkenterprises.com/tortjoco, TORTJOCO.html. What happened to me will happen to you. They arrested me as a paper terrorist. They threatened me, the living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient natural man, with 35 to 40 years in prison, under the legal presumption that I was responsible for the debts of the juristic person, the dead fictional straw man, created by governmental means of birth certification and 14th Amendment status. They railroaded me through 2 trials, convicted the juristic person, the only person they had jurisdiction over, in both trials. However, the courts avoided like the plague, and would not answer the questions of jurisdiction over me, this living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient natural man, in some 20+ hearings and 2 trials, and were thereby unable to link me to the juristic person. Once conviction of the juristic person was accomplished, they promptly threw me out of jail, but directed the former Secretary of State, Bill Bradbury, to unlawfully remove all liens, even those which were not connected in any way with the 2 phony trials. Clearly a criminal offense. That's how far the corruption goes in Oregon and beyond. I continue today to do the very same things for which I was originally arrested, and they will not arrest me, nor will they take me before a court. The Josephine County Sheriff's deputies, with the approval of their administration, have gone so far as to kidnap me in Cave Junction, under the pretext they were arresting me, drove me to the county jail in Grants Pass, drove in one door of the jail, removed me from the patrol car, removed the handcuffs, then escorted me with 2 officers One, the duty sergeant, out another door, saying that I was free to go, stranding me some 35 miles away from my home, and where they stopped me. No booking, no nothing. See www.arkenterprises.com/piracy.html. Since the 2 phony unlawful trials, I have sought redress through a number of legal avenues with the Josephine County Sheriff's Office, the District Attorney's Office, the judges, the Oregon Attorney General's Office, the DOJ, under 2 different Attorney Generals, the DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, under several directors, the Oregon Judicial Review Board, the Governor's Office, the FBI, the Supreme Court, and the White House. No one will respond to the question of whether a fictional servant government, a thought creation of the living sovereign people, is superior to their creator, their masters, the sovereign people themselves, and therefore have jurisdiction over any living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient natural man or woman of the sovereign people who stand in God's law and common law, and has not committed any crime. A crime where someone was victimized. You see, victimless crimes are no more than corporate legislative policies, and are not lawful crimes. They are not constitutional, and therefore are null and void, carrying with them no force of law. Millions of people are being unlawfully arrested by such corporate policy scams. That is the question that must be answered. They, the public bureaucrats and elected officials, will not answer such questions of jurisdiction, for if they did, their whole criminal empire would come tumbling down like a house of cards. You guys are spinning your wheels, playing word games with spin-doctoring lawyers who don't give a damn about justice. It's all about the bottom line, corporate profit. Read my offering in the blog section of Oregon Shout. Regarding my current status with Sheriff Gilbertson's flaunting of the law with his breach of oath of office, and the cover-up underway by Josephine County Chief Financial Officer and Risk Manager Rosemary DeLashmut, who has also breached her oath of office. They have both defaulted and are currently holding office while in commercial dishonor. See www.arkenterprises.com/UCCINVGG.html. That is such a simple, uncomplicated, cut-and-dried legal procedure which would cause their insurance bond, their insurance coverage, to be forfeited and both removed from public office, preventing them from any future employment anywhere in government, in Oregon, or elsewhere in the nation. That has teeth. There is no need to reinvent the wheel and go off on a multitude of tangents asking questions they will not answer. Hit them in their pocketbook. Hit them in their employment. That will be the only language which will communicate to them their criminal days are over. But it takes numbers. One man can't do it alone. The solution to the problems with our rogue government will not be solved through bloody revolution, although if they do declare martial law, declare war on the American people as enemies of the corporate state, they will leave no choice to the sovereign people in the matter. The peaceful way is to hold them accountable, and if they do not comply, nor answer simple questions which go to the very heart of their authority granted them by their creators, the sovereign people, withdraw all support, psychological and financial. Boycott, boycott, boycott them, and the machinery of tyranny will grind to a halt for lack of fuel. The taxes which are coercively extracted from the sweat and blood of the increasingly homeless, jobless American people. It is a non-violent way to restore sanity to our clearly insane government ways. Do not fritter away the collective energy of the people. Focus, focus, focus national attention upon the question of under present law. Does fictional government and unconstitutional non-Article 3 administrative courts have jurisdiction over any living, breathing, flesh and blood, sentient natural man or woman of the sovereign people, who do not grant jurisdiction nor consent to contract with such courts? That's the only question that need be answered to restore our constitutional republic. Thank you for listening.